Okay, I know I've always made videos of my repairs, but let's do a video showcasing them all. First off, the rear end, I did the pinion seal. Got that done for $100. Then I punched a hole in the rear differential cover, so I had to get that done. I got ripped off on that. By the time I was done, that cost me $260. Don't ever get your work done at Canadian Tire. I think that's it for them. Under the hood and work that I've done myself. New electronic EGR valve right down there. That was over $300. Idle air control motor. That was $160. Throttle positioning sensor. That was like $85 or so. Cheapest repair I've done on it was the PCV valve the other day. That cost $4. New battery just before Christmas. That was $80. What else have I done? I've done so much I can't remember half of it. Throttle positioning sensor, blah 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 blah. Of course, there was my famous redneck repair on my windshield washer fluid. Tires, I bought used tires for it, fronts and backs. $160 in total there. I haven't done anything to the interior. Shit, why can't I remember everything? Because I've got close to $2,500 in repairs since I bought it. I paid $1,600 for it. I got all the bills in the house. I think we already did a video where I showed all the bills for it. Nothing in here. The story on my... Let's see. Here's the story on my rear differential cover. I took it truck into my main shop. The guys do really good work. I'm really happy with them to get the rear pinion seal replaced. It was leaking like a bitch. And they did it. Cost me $100 in total, parts, labor, everything. And the mechanic told me that my rear differential cover was rusted out and would need to be repaired, which is good enough. You know, they're good guys, like I said. So a couple weeks later, I get the idea, well, I'm going to crawl underneath and try and get a little bit more time out of this differential cover. I figured I'd give it a good coat of JB Weld or something, you know, epoxy or something. So I ran the wire brush across it once and it just ripped a big gash in it. That's how rusted out it was. So now I have a dilemma. I can't drive it down to my other shop because the rear differential fluid would be gone by the time I got there. I didn't want to call a tow truck and tow it down there. So I just drove it up the street to the Canadian Tire. And every time I go in there I get ripped off by those guys. So I told them, you know what, $200, do the work. Anything more than that, give me a call. And they're like, okay. So they looked at it, they called me back, blah blah blah, it's going to cost you this much. And then when they said, the rear brake line broke as we were taking the differential plate off because it does bolt to it. It's going to cost you an extra $48 plus labor, blah blah blah. So I'm like, alright, go ahead and do it. So they called me back. When it was done, I went and picked it up. For that rear differential plate, it turned out to be $273. Now, they charged me dealership price for... They said they had to go to the dealership for the cover itself, which is fine. I understood that. Then they charged me dealership prices for the gasket as well, which they charged me $18 for the gasket alone, which they had in stock at their own parts desk for $7. Then they charged me $48 for the rear brake line, plus they charged me 0.6 labor to put the rear brake line on, and on top of that they charged a $25 fee to bleed the brakes. And you know what? My back brakes haven't worked on this thing ever since. But those guys are criminals, and I'll even tell you which one it is. I'm in Hamilton, Ontario. The Canadian Tire is at Upper Gauge and Fennel. Those guys, every time I go in there, I get screwed. Anytime a member of my family goes in there and they get screwed. My dad took his old van in there to get front tires on it, brand new front tires. He just replaced the back ones a couple months earlier. They bring the van back out to him with brand new back tires on it. And he said, you know, like, what's the problem? And their thing is, oh, it's company policy that if you only buy 2 tires, we can only put them on the back, blah, blah, blah. There's a lawsuit and all this, and it's just a farce. So the old man ended up getting screwed there. Well, my old Grand Am, my Pontiac Grand Am, I took it in to get some work done. The computer went on it, and one of the fuel injectors were gone. They charged me $800 in repairs, and then they couldn't even clean the motor. They pulled the injector, or one of the spark plugs out, and turned the key over, and because the injector had gone, it like literally filled the cylinder up with gas. So when they turned the key over, it just blew the gas all over the engine. And for an $800 repair, they couldn't even clean that up. When I bitched about it, they said, oh, for an extra 25 bucks, we'll shampoo your motor. It's like, fuck you guys. So I cannot honestly tell anybody to get their vehicles fixed there. If you're in the Hamilton area and you want a great shop to get work done on your vehicle, the people are great, they're honest, you go to Lock Street Tire. Stephanie runs the place in the front office there. The mechanics are great. And I can't say enough good things about them. So that's pretty much it for this. I hope this video ain't gone 10 minutes yet. And I hope when I view it you just don't see a shot of my nose. It's hard filming myself. But that's pretty much it. I paid $1,600 for the Blazer, close to $2,500 in repairs. And haven't owned it a year yet. But yet I love this fucking thing. Anyways, that's it. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching.